So if you're new to Ustream, the way it works is it's best to write me a question in Skype, which is Lisa Cairns 12. That's Lisa Cairns 12. You can just send me a request. It normally takes about half an hour for the request to go through, but then once it does, I'll accept it, and you can write me questions in there. You can also write me a question prior to Ustream in email, and you can find my email details on my website, and that's the best way for me to answer questions. I don't like writing, so I try to answer all the email questions on Ustream. If you don't like the ads on Ustream, I can't understand why you wouldn't like the ads, as they are amazingly fantastic and so loud, and often selling something that you really, really, really want. But if you don't like them for some reason, there is something that you can download called Ad Blocker. And you need to download it for your specific computer, so an Apple or a PC, and also for your particular web browser. I've heard reports that it doesn't really work with Safari, so you've got to do it in Firefox or Google Chrome, and then open Ustream in that, and it'll take off all your ads from your emails, from Ustream, from YouTube. It's quite amazing. Or you could pay Ustream, sign up and pay to get rid of ads. Somebody has to pay. So anything else? Yeah, and the best way, really, I think, not that I know who I am, but I think the best way to ask me a question is to phone in live rather than to write it. But writing's okay, but to actually phone and speak, and you can just phone in through Skype. Just call, and I'll most probably put you on hold if I'm answering a question, and you won't be able to speak to me. I won't hear you. But then when I finish that question, I'll unhold you, and you can ask the question. And you'll need to turn your volume off Ustream, because the Ustream's behind, and it will create an echoing effect. It's about 20 seconds behind me. Okay, and Karuna, just to let you know that I'm not updating my my Skype account, so you're going to have to work out how to use Ustream, because you won't be able to sit on Skype anymore. I'll need Skype. I can only have one person calling at a time, and I'll need that for callers. You can sit when there's no caller on in there, but I'll have to hang up on you if someone else calls. Okay, so here comes the introduction. Hi, William. So this might come as a surprise to some, but this is it. This is it. There's not going to be a heaven that you get to. There's not going to be a future destination that you get to. You're not going to become enlightened in the future. You are not going to get this in the future. It's here. It's this. It's got nothing to do with that time-bound story. That energy of a me person, separate from other things, going into the world and getting things. Nothing. It's this. It's this. So then a logical question might be, what is this? Hi, Mark. This is isness. It's this timeless moment. I don't know the words. It's what's happening and not happening. It's this aliveness which is not in movement and in movement simultaneously, in which everything is seemingly moving in and is, but it's also not happening as well. And this isness is free. It's so free and boundless. It's everything and no thing. This amness prior to I am the body, or which I am the body arises in. Suffering happens when this energy, this contracted energy, is claiming things, claiming to be limited things. I am the story of the body. I'm past actions, future actions. I am my money. I am my house. I am who I am in relationship with my kids. I am this body. I am a good person. This energy that claims that. The description of the body and the body arise in this timelessness. The timelessness doesn't appear because of the body, or the aliveness doesn't appear because of the body. The assumption is I am alive, and I am alive because of the body. But the body is arising in isness, is not the source of isness. But this personal energy believes that it is the source of being alive. I am the body and I am alive. I am my name. And this suffering begins. And life is separated. I am something in here and everything else is separate to me. I have choice. I have free will. I'm moving into the future. Absolute bollocks. How could somebody be moving into the future? And I'm moving away from the past. Past and future is a description that's arising in timelessness. In this beingness which is still and moving, which is loud and silent, which is everything and nothing. You can't get this in thoughts. Thoughts appear in this. It's not an intellectual understanding. It's not something that you get to. It is. It's boundless and it's here and it's not lost at all, but it's dreaming in a character which is lost, a person which is lost. Or it's creating into this a person which feels separated and lost. But this isn't lost. It can't be. It's free. Always, always free. But this character dreams, and it comes with all these energies that feel like they're inside of the body. Can you guarantee those energies are actually inside the body? Aren't they everything? Isn't that bound chest feeling everything? Everywhere? The mind says, no, it's in the body. The outside world is different. And I don't use the words awareness and consciousness. By chance the other day, I heard someone speaking and separating it all out, like there's awareness, then there's I am, then there's consciousness of I am. I just simply call timelessness, this amness, this beingness, in which everything is and appearing in. And it's also not happening at the same time. That's it. Because there's no one that could be aware or conscious of anything. That's just thoughts appearing in this. ideas and energies. It just is. And what can seemingly happen is that energy, which is claiming past and future and to be a body, can dissolve. And then there's this beingness in which the character and time is appearing and disappearing freely. Even when that personal energy, that me energy is there, it's all still appearing freely. But the me energy gives the appearance of someone consistent and someone that's suffering. And it can seem to be uncomfortable, incomplete. Sometimes it can be greatly fascinating and give great pleasure being a personal entity, but there's always a sense that it's not quite enough and there's somewhere you've got to get to. There's something just in the future you're just about to get. You very rarely meet many me dynamics that are happy with the way things are. Most of them are just trying to get a few more things. Just trying to get there. I don't know if you can hear the dog snoring. She's so funny. I gave her a bone and she was so excited. She's an older dog, she's 15. And she was so excited. I think we went for a walk and I think she's just passed out half eating it. And the funny thing about that personal entity, which feels like it's something in time and feels like it's had a life and got a life and is going somewhere, is what it thinks it looks for is in the future, but it will never ever get to it because all things are in movement. So it'll feel like it gets it and then it will lose it, it will get it, it will lose it. But what it's actually looking for is what is. But it's designed to always look in the future. So it's designed to always feel like it's not got it. But this is it. This is going nowhere. This is it. This is. And it seems to be that what happens in these talks is people ask questions and it's kind of continuously, a lot of the time, just a pointing back to what's actually happening. And a lot of the time the mind wants to know what's happening or understand something. And what tends to happen in these talks is not an answer, but a pointing back to this radical aliveness that always is. The mind's always trying to understand or get somewhere or know something or do something. And most of the questions, 99% of them, are a sneaky how do I, which is really understandable, but it's not found in that. It's not found in how do I. And so the question gets asked, how do and then there's a no, here, this, and then, and some minds are relentless. We had one a few weeks ago who phoned in and wouldn't give it up. It tried every angle to come in and try and get me into intellectual debate with him. It's not gonna happen. This is it. And it can seem cruel sometimes because saying that there's some hope or there's something to do might relieve it temporarily. In that moment, it might be like, phew, temporary relief. So it sometimes can seem cruel just pointing back to what is. It's what's wanted. It's what always been wanted. Okay, let's take some questions. Hi, Phyllis. Avibaha. Hi, Lisa. Avibaha. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Avibaha. Hi, Lisa. I feel so confused. I have the don't know what to do with my life syndrome. The story is, if I may, I just graduated from college. My parents are waiting for me to get a job because they want to stop giving me money and make me irresponsible. I think you meant to put responsible. That's really funny what you put. Get a job because they want to stop giving me money and make me irresponsible. Which I feel a bit. And then there's this other thing in which an enlightenment being. Other thing which I met an enlightened being who has given me so much, and I feel so guilty about keep on thinking on my life over and over again if I can't stop. Like continuously calling my attention. I feel like I need to make a decision whether in living with my teacher, in which case my parents would go nuts and so angry with me, or keeping on with my life feeling something is wrong, pleasing my parents, and I don't know what I want to do. Picturing myself in the future, it's just so unknown. Sorry for the story. Thank you. Yeah, picturing yourself in the future is so unknown. It's a craziness that's taken over. This is it. It really feels though that it's true that you need to make a decision and do something. But the happiness, the freedom, the boundlessness is right here. What's looked for is right here. It's never in solving that. Most beings go whole lifetime thinking they're just about to start their career or make a decision on all that, and all the wasted time thinking about it. Doesn't matter. This is it. But it couldn't be any other way. Living with the teacher or pleasing the parents. They're both ideas. This is it. Even with living with the teacher, it's not really living with the teacher, it's life expressing itself. Pleasing the parents, it's life expressing itself. Whatever happens. Cleaning the pots, wiping the bum. Lisa. Dog snoring. Computer typing. You're never going to get there. That image of you in the future, is a dream that's clouding what's actually happening. This is it. Life's not going to start somewhere. It's not going to begin tomorrow when you make up your mind. This is it. Dun, dun, dun. We should have drums. Thank you. Dash 939. When you look back, then come to the present moment. That's it. You get pushed out of your life. You don't come back to the present moment because that idea of you coming back to the moment is another idea. It always is the moment with a dream of somebody existing in time. That's not who you are. The time will always appear and disappear when needed to function in this society, but that's one that's claiming that's who you are. It's a lie. But what I'm talking about is not an activity. It's right here. The mind sees it as an activity, but who's doing the activity? Who? Who are you? That's a dream. You're doing activity. This is it. The body's moving, the speaking's happening, the idea to get a cookie's happening. Then it drops, and there's this beingness in which it's all appearing and disappearing. I've still not downloaded that thing that you suggested, Tobias. I'm going to send it to myself in an email. I have the memory of a fish, believe it or not. About 6 seconds it lasts. Okay, back onto the questions. Susith. Nice picture, Susith. Okay. Hi, Lisa. This is on Friday. In your YouTube post dated the 9th of the 10th, 2013, you mentioned that the effect of drugs, LSD, was similar to awakening. If so, could awakening, fallen away of me energy, be just a different chemical arrangement of the brain mechanism? Thanks. Susith. I don't know how the me energy is being produced. It seems logical that it would be a chemical brain thing, but that doesn't imply that this world is separation. I don't know what that me energy is or how it's produced. But most people that are asking this question then think, oh, but then it's still separation. Because it's a false brain activity that's in play, giving the appearance of a separate ego controlling the body. When that drops, then it's functioning energy expressing itself. It's all the same energy. Okay, Susith. Next question. Is all sense experience dependent on the brain? When a part of the brain is damaged, the person can lose his/her sensory experience. Stroke can cause a patient to go blind or insensitivity to touch on the site of the body. Thank you for answering my question, Lisa. Susith. Yeah, but that doesn't apply that experience is happening because of the brain. Where does the brain come from? I'm not going to talk about consciousness or awareness. This is other people's teaching, and there's all this debate, consciousness and awareness coming from the brain. But where does the brain come from? It's all this beingness, which is nothingness and everything. Like, who's producing the brain? And even scientists, if you like science now, they've cracked open the smallest particle, which I believe is called a quark or something, quark, and there's nothing in there. This is all a play of that nothingness. And everything is that nothingness. And it's right here, this nothingness. This absolute not happening stillness. Hey, Nick. Hi, Peter. I think I've said hello to you guys already. Alexander. What is the difference? Oh, what is the life force and where does it come from? Nowhere. I presume you're meaning life force the same as what I say as beingness or aliveness or oneness. Nowhere. Where does anything come from? Nowhere. Cause and effect create so much confusion, or the seeming appearance of cause and effect. As someone says, the tree comes from the seed, and everything seemingly has a logic to it. But where does the seed come from? The seed comes from the ground. Where does the ground come from? The rocks, the lava. It's endless. All comes from nowhere, but there's such a loss in cause and effect, believing that cause and effect has a beginning. Cause and effect is chicken and the egg. It's a circle. Which came first? Hey, Steve.
Hey.
How's it going? Did you want to speak, or you wanted to listen on Skype?
Oh, I didn't even know you were doing a meeting. It's great to be...
Right, you just phoned up for a chit-chat on the side, and now you're broadcasted to... Let's have a look how many people. 62 people.
It says I need Skype Premium to join the video. Anyway.
Yeah. You can't... You wouldn't be able to see it anyway because people are watching me through Ustream and I've only got one camera.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so what's going on over there?
Well, the dog's snoring. I was answering these questions from these people I don't know. Or it's not even from people I don't know, it's actually from the computer. The computer's asking me questions. Hey, maybe we can chat afterwards. I'm finishing maybe at 7 or something. Maybe 7:30.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. Well, have a great meeting with these voices.
From the computer, not from my head.
Yeah.
Bye, yeah, Steve.
See you later. Bye.
Karuna. Hi, Karuna. Hi, dear Lisa. Lisa, is it possible to chat with you on Skype shortly after or another time convenient to you? I have a question I do not like to ask in public. Well, I just promised myself to Steve. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll chat really quickly, Karuna, afterwards, if that's okay. Or not that quickly, but... And then I'll chat with Steve. Hello. Can it be that it is much more easy to know what you are talking about by talking or listening to you? How can it be that it is much more easy to know what you are talking about by talking or listening to you? As soon as I am connected to you, often it's immediately known what you talk about, but it makes no sense. I mean, it makes no sense since what is always the same, no matter if I'm connected to you or not, but still it seems to make a difference. How can that be? Well, that's just in thought it seems to make a difference. That's just in the dreamland, and that dreamland's the one that's seemingly veiling this and making it seem that what is narrow and tight, and I just see that we lost connection with Karuna. Tight and bound, but I'll just wait for Karuna to come back. Hi Karuna, I was just answering your question, but I don't think you were there the whole time, were you? Okay, let's see if I can answer it again. So I was just saying that it's just in thought that it seems like it's more that you're more connected with this when you listen to me, and that thought energy, or that... Oh, she's cut out again. Oh well, let's move on. Hello, no Harry. Hello, Benjamin. We're going to start on the Benny boy. Hi, Lisa. I have a question for your talk. If there is acceptance of everything as it is, then does that lead to a lethargy and a lack of drive and ambition? If we all become free of suffering, will we all stop achieving anything? Achieving will happen, but it will be from the achieving will be from a different place. It won't be from the place of I've got to do it. My life depends on it. By completing this, I will finally be happy. So the achieving, the body's always going to be moving towards things. So building a house or making dinner. I mean, you could say making dinner is an achievement. But it's no longer somebody separate from that achievement. Somebody's got to get there because life depends on it. It's just life happening, appearing and disappearing, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So the character, I would say, becomes a lot more relaxed about everything. But in a society where happiness is often dependent on achieving, on what you've achieved, what you've done, what you've built, how grand you are, that can seem quite negative. And when there's not a person there that's always imagining itself in the future and what it's going to look like in the future, there's not such a strong destination where I've got to get to. Now you are an enlightened being, for want of a better word. Can you spot other lightened beings? If you were in a crowded room, could you quickly see the enlightened ones from all the rest? I don't see myself as an enlightened being. I don't see myself as anything anymore. There's not someone here that's separate looking at that. So it's also not looking outward to who other people are. So in a way, everybody's enlightened, everything's free, because there's not somebody in there looking at others and looking at itself as something. Sometimes a thought might pop up, appear about another, but that's not seen as who they are. It's just a thought. So it might be a thought of, oh, they're suffering, or a thought of there's enjoyment there. But then when they disappear, everything's enlightened again. But I really don't see myself as enlightened. But also sometimes I say I'm not enlightened to people. I also don't see myself as not enlightened. Neither. There's not somebody here looking at something separate. There's just life happening. Karuna, I gave up on you. We can try again with your question. Although it's quite funny for the other people because it's my third time answering it. Will it be different? That's the question. Hola, Gad. Hola, hola, hola. Have you heard the joke about the ula ula bird, Gad? This is a really funny one. Oh, well, it's not a joke, but it's just this bird. Well, it is very funny. It's just this bird. This bird in South America that that has very big wings, very big beak, and very, very big testicles. But it also has very little legs. So when the bird lands on a branch, you often hear because obviously the balls are hitting the branch. So everyone called it the Ula Ula bird. So that's the story of the Ula Ula bird. Gigantic testicles and very small legs. Very unfortunate design. Ooh. Okay, back to Karuna's question. Okay. How can it be that it is much more easy to know what you're talking about by talking or listening to you? As soon as I am connected to you, often it's immediately known what you talk about. Well, that's just thoughts appearing in this boundlessness that you know it more. And those thoughts and that energy of it being you is what veils this. Seemingly, what happens when we're talking is that's dropping momentarily, and there's just this resonance, this explosion, this knowing of what's being talked about beyond the words, because it can't be found in the words, because it is, and the words appear in it. Aliveness isn't a source of the words. It's just so beautiful, this subject. This very simple bit of non-duality is so lovely. This is it. It's all it. So that's just stories that are coming in saying it's more effective with Lisa. Then they disappear, and then there's room. And they come back in, and there's this again. Come and go. But your mind-body mechanism is more awake than most. You can see that, can't you? No, Ben. No, Ben. Somebody can't see that. The only thing that can happen is thoughts of comparison can appear, of before and after. But that's just thoughts of comparison. They are no longer who I am. Isn't that crazy? It's a shift seemingly has happened. From before, who I was the body-mind mechanism and a story in time. Now, the story of time appears in this. And when drinking the tea, Ben, all there is tea. Then that question's asked, and maybe a thought pops up of before, when the body-mind mechanism was contracted, and compares it to this right now. But then those thoughts disappear, and that's gone completely. Then there's just this. But that's not who I am anymore. It's really mindfuck because the mind is so used to seeing itself as somebody in time. What the fuck? She can't see herself as enlightenment or as enlightened. She must see herself as something. Just life appearing. Appears, it disappears, it appears, it disappears. Thoughts appear and disappear. Comparisons appear and disappear. That's not a truth. So sometimes in speaking with people, there might be a telling of a story that happened, and the before of a contracted me, and then that just disappearing. But then life is just happening. And there's not someone there telling the story that Lisa is enlightened. Lisa is now enlightened, and Ben isn't enlightened. And that the dog isn't enlightened, or the cup isn't enlightened, or who is enlightened or who isn't enlightened. Sometimes when body-mind mechanisms are crying their eyes out, there is a thought that appears describing them as suffering, but sometimes it's not, and then there's just tears and crying and shouting, and it's as it is. This is so nonsensical, though, to a thought. or to that me energy, because that me energy only sees the world through me and the separate world. And who I am is someone in time. But time appears and disappears in this. You're not somebody that's not enlightened or enlightened either. This is great, this subject. In it, Ben. Susith. Thanks, Lisa. Your answer deeply resonates with me, and I love listening to you. But thoughts from my conditioning, training, and medicine keeps generating doubt, although I don't completely believe in them. I feel that the ultimate reality, this is it, should have an explanation to all that is observed. Maybe this doubt will fall away in apparent future. Thanks again, Seth. Yeah, but it's always falling away, Susith, because there's not a continuous you. In the moment of eating dinner, there's no doubt. There's just eating dinner. There's just, if there's drinking tea, drinking tea. There's not a continuous you there that has doubt or doesn't. Doubt appears with this sense of it's my doubt. Then it's gone again. But there's always this timeless beingness, which is here, free, boundless. Don't try to work things out, just let it be, man. This is from Dash 939. He doesn't say man though, that was me. Madness, this is from Ben. I wish I could get my head round it. Yes, it's a great subject. Head blown. Yeah, you're never going to get your head round it, Ben. What's going to happen, seemingly, in time, is all that energy that believes it is something will seem to get dissolved. It will get dissolved so much to the point where even that idea of dissolving dissolves, that somebody dissolved. Hi, Ian. Mr. Cassidy. One moment. Mr. Cassidy. I know you're trying to steal me today. What's he barking for? Hello, Mutton. Sorry, I just slipped that in with a toilet break. Oh, becoming an old lady. Trying to cross my legs. Or is it that my trousers are too tight? Or maybe it's the trousers are too tight. Oh. Okay. Note to self, looser trousers. Oh. Would you recommend, this is from Ben, Would you recommend meditation to help dissolve the I mind? I feel I need to do something. It's all me, me, me tonight. Yeah, the me always feels like it needs to do something. It's not just about the liberation story, but that's the dynamic of the me, is to do something. That's how it exists, what I'm looking for in the future, and how I get to the future. So that's its number one question. Will meditation help? I'm not thinking, sorry, about will it help or not. It's just losing focus there. It's irrelevant, help or not help. If meditation arises, it arises. If walking the dog happens, it happens. If drinking a beer happens, it happens. It's irrelevant. There isn't somebody there that's going to get something in the future. That's the illusion, that's the daydream. There isn't a you there. William, you put on you put on here accept my Skype request. It normally takes, from my experience, about half an hour for the Skype request to come through. So you can write it to me on here. I'll look here on Ustream for the next few minutes. So Karuna asks, how do you like the talks of Adyashanti? Do you feel he talks correctly in a non-dual scene, or too much blah blah is about a process? I'm not so into talking about other non-duality speakers. I leave that to the men. They all like to have opinions of which one is speaking correctly and which one isn't, and which one's good and which one's bad, and how they're on level 10 and they can see that Adyashanti's on level 1. I understand there isn't a me, but how can I see through that? Sorry, I'm going round in circles. Yeah, but that's what happens with the me dynamic. It's always going round in circles. It's been round in circles ever since it began. First of all, it was about getting a new toy from Toys R Us. Then he thought it was about doing well at school. Then he thought it was about rebelling at school or whatever it was, or getting into university. Then once at university, he thought it was about getting good grades and then getting a good job or partying or getting the woman. Then he thought it was about and this and this and this and this. And if he did this, it's always going round in circles. And now it thinks if it gets enlightenment, my life will be better. And it dreams of itself being enlightened in the future. And all these talks are about is remembering what's actually here and happening right now. And that one that feels like it needs to do something while it's by itself is fantasy. I'm not saying meditation's right or wrong. If sitting happens, that's what happens. A lot of sitting happens here, but it's not going anywhere. It's not about me getting something. It just happens. The tea's made and the body's relaxed and sitting, 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 sitting. I feel like I'm monopolising your time here. I will leave you to others and we'll sit back and listen. Oh, no, there's not that many other questions tonight, Benjamin. I've got a few in my inbox I haven't written yet. Lisa, can you tell me again about the problem you have with me listening in Skype, and from when on can I not be sitting there anymore while somebody is calling? Sorry, I cannot listen by Ustream. I am far out in the countryside with very slow connection. Ustream will be too big connection for me. I'm not sure. I think it'll be soon it will cut out. They wrote to me and said if I don't pay them $50, it will cut out soon, but I don't need it for anything. So I don't want to rebuy having extra people so soon, the next couple of weeks. And so it means if you don't buy the upgraded account, you can't have more than 2 people speaking or 2 people in Skype at the same time. You can only have 1 person, which I figure is not a problem because it's only 1 person that can ask a question at a time. So I don't know though if you can actually sit on Skype, because I don't know if anyone can actually call while you're sat on Skype. Like at the moment, people just call and I add them in. We'll have to do a trial run one day or something. I'll do a trial run with friends when it's run out and see. Don't try to word it. Anything to say, this is from Dash, anything to say about judgment? Judgment, it's quite a strong word. It tends to be, there can just be judgment of when to cross a road. The body judges how to cross a road or how to cook the dinner or something, but there can be this personal judgment and thinks that this is true. They are an asshole and this is true, or I know better, or this is right, or this is wrong. That's the personal judgment. So many wars are created over that. You were talking about a shift that can happen to see, this is from Alexander, to see the illusion of the me dynamic. Is there something to do to make the shift happen, or is it just the understanding everything? It's not an understanding, Alexander. It's the collapse of this energy that's taking life personally, that feels inside the body and limited to here. But even that's a story too, so it's not true. That's words. Wouldn't it be great if I could just say, yeah, what you have to do is stick 1 finger in your ear and then tap here. You can imagine people would buy it though. People are desperate for suffering to stop. So I'm sure isn't there that tapping thing? You say a thought and everyone taps. In Christianity, they got whipping yourself. To whip yourself to get nearer to God. It's all in dreamland, you see. You'll see imagining yourself tomorrow sitting and meditating, or you're imagining yourself tomorrow sitting and doing something to try and get here. And that's the illusion, that's what's failing all. It's not about the doing. No, Harry. What I am worrying worrying. What I'm wondering is, there is just energy which is wild in some way, and really everything could happen in any moment. Nevertheless, it seems to be regularity. Bodies seem to work. They don't collapse in every second. Are you sure about that? Everybody's getting up in the morning, going to work. Thoughts seem to belong to some bodies. Could you say something about this seeming regularity? Regularity is in a thought structure, which isn't wrong or right. That's how the humans seem to be functioning, is through this thought structure which seems to see past and future. But regularity is always belonging in this moment in thought structure. It seems to be that way. But I was reading somewhere a science report recently that it said 1 in every million bodies will just suddenly walk through the wall, like and then they'll claim to be enlightened. But it's because everything's not regular. I can't explain that. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have even started on science. But it was really cool. It was yeah. It was in some documentary, I forget which one. Have you ever, this is from Ben, have you ever thought about using Google Hangout for your talks? You can have many people on there, I think. It must seem very silly. Oh. Yeah, I tried it recently, Google Hangout. It's not as good as it seems, Google Hangout, because certain countries can't use it. And it's a bit complicated for me to do by myself. But quite a few countries, believe it or not, I've got a huge following in China, and China can't use it. China's becoming one of my biggest subscribers. It's USA, then China, then England. It used to be USA, then England. Oh, and Ukraine is becoming huge as well. All these oh, I'm not sure if Ukraine was an ex-communist country. It must seem very silly from your perspective. From here, I'd put awakening on the same level as winning the lottery. No, they're completely different. Winning the lottery is in the flow of things. Awakening never happens. It's always awakening. Hi, Nikki. Bulgaria as well. Don't know if I'm so popular in Bulgaria. Hi, Lewis. So Karina says, okay, I ask again, since you may not have seen, I did write again and ask a bit differently. How do you personally like the talks of Adyashanti? I'm not interested in talking about other speakers. Karina? I don't listen really to other speakers, and sometimes I do, but this is it. Derek. Is there a physical body in what is? Is what is felt known by a physical body? Thanks. No, the physical body appears in what is. What is isn't a result of the physical body. Okay, so I'm just going to do my questions in my email box. Ugh. These chairs are a little uncomfy. Okay. This is from Brian. Hi Lisa, hope you're keeping well. You might not remember me, but I wrote to you a few months back. I don't know what to ask, but the question kept coming up to me to ask about vision. Did anything change with your physical vision when the story fell away? Or any other physical changes in hearing or seeing? I hear buzzing in my ear. I can't close my eyes and put myself to sleep like before. If sleep does not want to happen, I can't escape from reality like before in the storyland. Maybe I am in the storyland. It is possible to tell one way or another anything at all, and there has been struggle occurring on many fronts in many ways. My family, wife, kids and me are getting a new dog tomorrow. Our old dog passed away, Susan. Yeah. It gets harder and harder to know anything. What happens is this bounded energy falls away, but I can't describe that to you in positive. Some people say an expansion, but I tend to just say the end of a boundedness, because expansions are. It's just the falling of this divide. But it can't even be known, like saying that the vision changed or physical things changed. These are all thoughts appearing in this boundlessness, and no thought is ever going to be able to talk about what is. It appears in what is. So the vision changing, the sound hearing, the mind will just have a field day. The me will have a field day on trying to work it all out, and it's impossible. And I know the Buddhists say that there's the sound of silence, which is a high vibration, and on it goes. The me will be like, but it doesn't matter. It's all thought arising in freedom. The freedom is here. The silence is here. And it's not about an experience. The mind will endlessly look in experiences. Thanks for your question, Brian. Question for Ustream. Adam. Hi, Lisa. I went to a Tony Parsons meeting yesterday, and he was saying that any spiritual teaching that gives the me some kind of path or practice is bullshit, as it only services to reinforce the me. What are your thoughts on this? Many thanks, Lisa. If practice arises, that's what arises. But practice goes with the assumption that you are somebody that's going to get somewhere, and that's what collapses. I don't say that it reinforces or doesn't reinforce. Who knows what the collapse is, but it's in a dreamland, this practice, that you're going to get somewhere. I mean, it doesn't even make sense to me to even talk about some form of practice. Makes no sense. All that happens here is a pointing back to what is. I know that some people say sit in what is, but who? Who are you? I'm going to sit in what is. I am going to sit in what is. I am going to sit in what is. I am going to sit in what is. How? What is what everything is in. Who are you? Who is going to practice. That's the daydream. But I'm not into all this kind of talking about what other people say and what Tony says via this person. I just leave that to the men of non-duality. I know I've already said that tonight. I'll get all these emails. You sexist bitch, Lisa. Well, as there's so few women in non-duality, we haven't got much comparison going on. There's so few women speakers in non-duality. It's just a joke before I get the emails. It's just a joke. Okay. This is from... Okay, we answered that one. Question. Okay, this is from Klaus. Hello, Lisa. My computer was put in German, so it always changes the words. I tried to write it one more time. I hope you had a pleasant day. Thanks for everything. Here. I'm not sure if you're asking me this on Ustream or not. I don't think that's meant for Ustream. Okay, this is another question from Adam. Hi, Lisa. Another question arose when I'm listening to you this afternoon. It seems... One second. It seems that the way this is all described makes it all sound so esoteric and strange, and it is those words that make me think that there is somewhere to get to, or rather something that I have yet to discover. Do you think that could be the case? Many thanks again, Lisa. You're not going to work out what the problem is, Adam. For me, you'll go round and round forever. It's my mother. It's because the teachers do this. It's because I practice. It's because I not practice. They're rising in freedom. That me energy isn't going to find it. You're not going to work out what the problem is. This is it. It's not found there. That goes on forever. It's so funny, some of the spiritual stuff that's out there. Like, I'm not meaning to, like, the thought just came up to my head. Like, I remember doing this detox, and if you had black in your poo, that was a problem, and that meant that you were releasing this kind of thing, and it was all to do with your spiritual awakening, and your poo should be this colour. And I mean, it just will go on endlessly. It's not going to be worked out in thoughts. But it sounds so convincing. Or there's this Kundalini energy that's got to arise. Or I even remember at the Buddhist group I was with, women were less likely to wake up than men. Artists were more likely to wake up than all other jobs. On and on it goes. If you're black in your poo. So there we all are with a little gloves on, examining, comparing. Just got the bad poo. Oh, he's got good poo. He's more enlightened. You're in a giggling mood now. Matt's just commenting now that you need to go to the hospital if you've got black poo. Not trip to heaven. You gotta. Oh. Hey, Karen.
Hey. I thought I had it worked out I had all worked out.
Yeah.
And then I realized I hadn't. I got infected by your giggly mood.
We just can't know shit.
Lisa's often saying, I'm just a banana. So other times she might say, I'm such a monkey. And then the thought came up, okay, so if the monkey will eat the banana, then it's all gone.
I'm not a banana anymore, I'm just monkey.
But that monkey is still there, so it worked out after all. Yeah.
Sweet.
That was all.
Just to tell me you know shit. Nothing.
No eating bananas. Oh yeah, eating bananas.
Nice. Thanks, Karen.
Nice having fun with you.
Yeah. So if the body's sitting there and it thinks that it knows what Lisa's talking about, it doesn't. Thoughts appear saying, I know what Lisa's talking about. And then there's this freedom. I know what non-duality is. No, this is it. I know what non-duality is. This is it. I'm going to get a cute attack in a minute. What's that aliveness, beingness? This is, oh. What's that aliveness, beingness, or nothingness in us that goes on and on after the death of the body, not changing at all? Is it not the source and the source of everything at the same time? It is everything. Everything is that nothingness. What you mean by we thought and everything? We thoughts and everything. What you mean by we thoughts and everything arise in this aliveness, and aliveness doesn't arrive in us. Everything is beingness coming and going in nothing. And does this beingness or life experience itself by using me in one way here and using you in another way here? Lots of love. Yet we thoughts and everything is aliveness, is beingness, and beingness is no thing and everything simultaneously. The source of everything is no thing, and everything is no thing. And no thing, is everything. They're one and the same thing. The source is everything and nothing. Everything is source, the sourcey source, and no thing is source. It doesn't use you, it's creating an appearance of a person that comes and goes, this me energy. And you aren't the body. The body appears in this beingness. I can't even say you are this beingness, it's going a step too far. But who you are isn't the body and isn't the story. Karuna. Okay, I send this again since could be you have not seen it. Oops, I just see that you've lost connection. Ian. Do you have a favourite movie? Have you seen Shawshank Redemption? What about the documentary The Animal Communicator on YouTube? Have you seen it? Cheers. I've seen Shawshank Redemption. I don't know if I've seen The Animal Communicator. I watched Dirty Rotten Scoundrels the other day, which is very funny. It made me laugh. Matt. Hang on, I'm sure I can change a poo right now. Can I send a photo so you can tell me how enlightened I am? It's a path of self-discovery. You have to discover that for yourself. You have to now go and investigate with your little gloves your poop. No pictures. I don't want any pictures. You have to do enough with dog poops. Dash 939. Be bigger than your thoughts. Don't log off. This is be bigger than your thoughts. Who would be bigger than the thoughts? Who? There's not two here. I learned a lot today. The importance of the colour of poo. This is from No Harry. That there are birds with long testicles and short legs. I'm curious what comes next. That's the ula ula bird. The ula ula bird with these gigantic testicles and very short legs. And when it lands, Dirt Fisherman. Hi, Miss Cairns. Could you speak about free will? Does it exist at all? Or is it just a thought that arises well after the fact that takes credit for a random event that occurred within consciousness? Yeah, it's just an energy that's coming up and claiming action. But where does that thought come from that says, I'm choosing this? It doesn't come from somebody, it doesn't come from a place. But the body, it says in science, has decided up to 6 seconds prior. They even say it could be longer. That's just science though. But where does that thought come from? There's not somebody in there choosing the thoughts. Thought says I am choosing the apple juice over the orange juice. But it's not coming from someone, it's coming from infinite nowhere. Infinite no place. The words I use. Okay, I send this again. Could be you have not seen it. It might be that I've answered it already, Karuna, but you've been cut off. It is a bit funny, but what helps me when I am caught in the mental illusion and experience being separate from others, I'm telling me in my mind, he, she is you, and in that moment the illusion of two separate beings falls away usually. Can you tell me how that can be? Is it not in some way another funny mind game I'm doing? Not sure. It's just what's happening. So there's contraction and then the me, then the thought pops up. It's not personal or it's not him or her. And then that dissolves and then there's just this left again. But it's not you doing it. And that could be the me energy trying to stay alive, but whose job is it to save itself? Who's the one that thinks it's got to stop that me energy? Only the me. Only the person. Hi Lisa, in your last talk you said that thought is a human invention. Can you explain this? It sounds like you're separating humans from what is. Is there only oneness? Then wouldn't it be right to say oneness invented thoughts? Thanks. Of course, oneness invented everything. There's not two. But just like the monkey goes, oh, oh, oh. Oh no, that's not how the monkey goes. That's a seal. Okay, just like the seal goes, oh, oh, oh. The human thinks. It's a human quality, just like the tree is green. And in the story of the humans, it was a human invention, but it's not a human invention ultimately. Like just like you'd say the human invented a house. It's just a manner of speaking. Or the seal invented, what's that park called in America? Waterworld or something. I don't know. But it was something that formed with the human, seemingly in the story of things. But yes, everything comes from oneness. But in the flow of things, thinking is a human characteristic or a human dynamic. Thinking doesn't happen with the tree. Dirt. By the way, we can call the bird the Watch bird here in the States. The what? The Watch bird. I actually screwed up the story a bit because it wasn't South America. It was like South America, one of the French islands. South America. No, not South America. South Africa. Or one of the French islands near Africa or something. Ula is French, you see. Watch, yes, the bird. They do have birds reportedly in other countries, and they'll come with different names. So in America, it's called Watch bird. Watch, watch, ooch. Oh, ouch! I see. Ouch, 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 ouch. Instead of ula, ouch, ouch. Yeah, in England, it's fuck, 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 fuck. Bird. Or bollocks, 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 bird. In France, it's the ula, ula, ula. Okay, this is it. For now, it's clear. Tomorrow, let's see what happens. Ah. Tomorrow. That's from Alexander. Okay, this is from William. Firstly, I am with you. I'm sort of caught in fear. How does letting go and effort work, William? I've got so much knowledge, yet I'm continuously trumped by the negative emotion. Blah, blah, blah. Love you. When there's fear, all there is fear, William. That is it. There is fear. The me listens to non-duality or all these different things and thinks that it can work out how to get out of fear. If there's fear, that's what is. And everything is fear. And there's fear. And it often runs to all these different teachings trying to get somewhere. And it can't get anywhere in trying to work it out. Oh yeah, it's so funny today, Karuna, because I answered this one as well. But it was when you went just before you asked, somebody called in and asked if they could chat with me as well afterwards. Or no, maybe I suggested. I forget how the story went. I said that I would be free about 7. I'm just about to end Ustream now. So if you can do it in 15 minutes, then well, it'll be about 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 10-15 minutes. I'll call you back, Karuna, okay? Afterwards. Okay. Right, guys, so some advertisements before I leave. We've got to get in the advertisements. Okay, sorry, I got distracted by Karuna there. Just one moment. Just answering her question. Okay, advertisements. No, that's not it. So I've got some talks coming up in Tiruvannamalai, India. That's for 3 or 4 days. The 3rd, 4th, 5th of March, and then I think there's one on the 28th of February as well. That's in southern India, in Tiruvannamalai and in Oroville. You can find that out on my website. Also, I've got talks in Nottingham, England. That's on the 14th, 15th and 16th of March. You need to reserve a place with Dee because it's at her house, so it's not unlimited seating. So her phone number's on there and her email's on there. That's for a whole weekend. And then in Berlin in March, the 22nd and 23rd. And then I've got one in London. I don't often do talks in London. This is at the Strand, very posh. The George pub. So we can have a beer and talk about non-duality. Should be quite nice. In the Strand. So that's the centre of town. I can't remember what the tube is. Is it Temple or Holborn, I think? The Strand? Holborn, maybe. Then in April, we've got a talk in Maaseik, Belgium. Maaseik, Belgium. That's for the 18th, 19th, 20th and 21st of April. So 4 days of talks, and you can stay in as well. You can either come to some of the talks or all of the talks. And you can stay at Stan's house, and Stan's really kindly offered it free of charge. So you don't get your own private room, it's sharing rooms. It's not a hotel, it's just somebody's house. And then we all cook and clean and eat together, which is very nice. And Stan is lovely. Then in Bristol, I've got a talk on the 26th of April. Then in May, I've just announced this to Paris, the 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And then in June, I've just announced this one, Amsterdam, the 6th, 7th and 8th in Holland. It's a different venue if you've been to my talks before in Amsterdam. It's at the place Wayne Lickerman does talks, I think. and then a residential in Greece, Pelican, and that's for 7 days. That's the 17th to the 24th of June. Yeah. That's it. That's all the planning for the moment. Okay, guys. And the next talk is on Wednesday at 7 p.m. GMT. So see you then. Bye.